Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rainy Day Reactions with Chris and Nia. This will be our dark discussion video, not reacting to anything for once.
Yeah.
So, it took us a while to release this video, mostly because almost everything was answered during the season finale, right?
Yeah. We weren't sure what to do with this video.
Yeah, and we both have anxiety, so
we kind of froze.
Yeah. So, let's talk about Dark.
Okay.
First of all, chronological timeline of Dark. We did watch it. It's kind of a weird thing to watch for this show because everything goes back and forth so many times and things are so crossed over that like it really didn't help much.
I actually started getting a lot more confused, and then I did a rewatch. And I struggled so much during the rewatch. I understood a lot more, but for some reason, the second time around, like officially watching it start to finish, the alternate Martha, the mirrored realities, I was like, Chris, explain this to me because for some reason, I don't get it. And I had to like take notes and like, you know, just track everyone and what they were doing to like make it make sense, because I really struggled.
Yeah, and then I got confused.
And I got him confused for like part of it. But you overall, I would say you handle
a lot of information.
Time jumping a lot better than I do. Because I just get all like jumbled up.
And I did go into Reddit though to look at like charts, Martha's timeline, Jonas's timeline, and then there was like alternate Martha A, alternate Martha B, and like I was like, but then like once I got it, I was like, okay, I get it now.
You get it, yeah.
Yeah. So both Jonas's and Martha's timelines just made sense after a while.
Yeah, I mean, I got it.
You got it now?
I got it now. I did the notes.
We also did look at the family tree. The only mistake in there was Tronta, but obviously that was on purpose.
Yes. So I thought it was actually a slip up from the show, but I think it had to do with the fact that Claudia kept that secret, right?
Yeah.
She kept it very secretive, so
literally no one knew that she ever got with Burnt.
Yeah.
So the fact that the family tree was wrong just makes sense.
Oh, and another thing that confused me from the chronological video was Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
I started getting confused because I was
the guy in the video mentioned that Tannhause's granddaughter Charlotte was the same one as
Charlotte,
as Charlotte, and then which was wrong.
And that's why I was like, oh wait, no, now I'm like shifting like everything that I know. But I mean, it's very confusing, and yeah, we found a lot of other people's work that they put in, like maps and stuff, and there's bound to be errors because it's so complicated.
Yeah, but this guy that made the chronological timeline, and he also did like a season 3 recap video. Like, he had some things in there that were completely wrong
as well.
Yeah. What else? What do we have? Martha's letter.
Oh,
that journey was very confusing.
When it comes to the objects,
we literally did have to look for timelines of those.
The hardest one for me is probably the pendant.
Yeah.
The penny and the letters. I got really confused with the letters.
Yeah.
But it doing the rewatch, it
makes more sense.
Track stuff.
Yeah. And then we have a few other notes here. What else? Aegon visiting Hannah. Which one? It was alternate Hannah.
Oh yes, and that was actually in our comments too. Like there was like different of opinions on what exactly Aegon was doing and what he did with Hannah. But it looks like alternate Aegon went to
rescue
pregnant
Hannah.
the
Because
Hannah
it
that
looked
was
like
bleeding,
she was
right?
getting a miscarriage while that was going on. So he then grabbed her, brought her back to his younger self.
So she was not. They were not saving this pregnancy.
No.
This was an Ulrich pregnancy that did not happen or ended in miscarriage, right?
Yeah.
And then she gets with younger Aegon
To make
start
Celia.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
To save his family tree.
Mm-hmm.
We also have, there was no nuclear power plant in the origin world.
Well, not his family tree, the family tree.
Well, the family tree, yeah. There was no nuclear power plant. I mean, in the origin world, you don't really get to see because the scene's really dark when they do show us the origin world.
But there's trees.
But we could assume that there wasn't a power plant because there was, in the regular worlds, there wasn't as many trees in the way down that road.
Yeah, so they never actually, assuming they never actually built it, there was no origin to go in and threaten the, what was it, the mayor or someone
Whoever
to sign
was
the
that needed to approve it. Yeah,
the permit. Oh, one thing that didn't quite make sense to me, and you guys can help us out, was the young Noah saved Jonas from hanging himself in the future. And he told them basically that he can't die because his older self exists.
Yeah, so you try to use the gun and it didn't work.
Yeah, and they did the example with the gun. But then later on, Noah tries to kill Adam and is surprised that the gun, he tries to like shoot and it doesn't work. And then Agnes takes the gun and kills him.
Yeah.
That to me was kind of confusing because he would know this if his younger self already knew this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was confusing.
Right? How would his older self not know this?
That he can't change it. Right.
Right?
Yeah, that was confusing.
Oh, and just like a slight thing noticed about Ulrich. So he had that like no future jacket and the no future on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's safe to assume that he's the one that wrote the no future at the plant.
When he was a teenager in the 80s.
What was the deal with what was his
no
deal?
Future?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they were just trying to like hint things.
Like he was always against society? Or
I don't know.
Like against
He was just a rebellious kid.
Yeah, I guess.
But at the same time, probably the showrunners, they were most likely trying to hint maybe the end because there's no future for these two universes.
Yeah. No.
There's a lot of subtle hints everywhere throughout the show that we never caught.
Speaking of subtle hints, there's the I don't know, hopefully we're able to find it and then we can put it right here. There's this art piece in Charlotte's home in season 1, episode 4, where it looks double. It's like a head and there's like this there's like a doubleness going on. And I kept looking at it and I remember thinking like that was telling us something, but I couldn't quite figure out. And I think it was like foreshadowing to at least like
the split reality.
But I can't quite figure out the art piece. But I do have it.
Yeah. Oh, another thing would be the rug.
Okay, yes.
So that's a thing that she kept mentioning.
And it's somewhere
over and over again
in the comments somewhere in season 3 where someone said something like, did you guys notice anything? And we wrote like, I think it's the rug. There's the scene where Bartosz takes alternate Martha to where
see Adam's lair or whatever.
And they have a scene where she's looking at the floor and there's a rug. Well, that's the only thing that I can notice, like a rug and like a table and stuff. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is in the scene?
Because we never noticed anything. Like, we didn't notice the rug anywhere else. The only thing that could make sense is that, don't remember if she's seen Eva's...
Has she at that point?
Eva's cave at that point. So if she's looking at the rug, it could be that eventually is Eva's thing and that's where the family tree is. That's the only thing that would make sense. But other than that, if we're wrong, like what's up with this rug?
Right, or the floor.
Yeah.
Would Adam have had... Adam wouldn't have had Would he have had the family tree?
No,
No, right?
no.
Yeah. What's up
So
with that?
that was another thing that we're still confused about a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it safe to assume that Hannah is the one that wrote the letter to Clausen? Or
Right.
who wrote the letter? It was signed from a friend.
Yeah, that one we still never got an answer, I don't think. Because they never showed anyone else writing a letter
Mm-hmm.
other than Eva making Martha write the letter. Um,
But nothing, no other letter
no
other
other
than,
letter was
right?
written.
I mean, out of anyone that knew something about Boris, it had to be
It had to
Hannah,
be
right?
Hannah, yeah. She was the only one that knew anything.
Mm-mm. Another kind of question is in season 3, episode 1, the unknown burned. It looks like they're burning down and destroying Adam's place, right?
Hmm.
Why are they burning it? Or like, were they trying to kill
Did we
Adam?
get a timestamp on that one?
I don't know. I didn't write it down. But they showed up and they just walk in and start burning everything.
Yeah.
And it looked like it had already been
Abandoned.
like messy and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did that. If anyone else, let us know. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. And did you want to share your favorite moments from the show?
Yes. My number one favorite moment, I think, was for sure older Mikkel being visited by Jonas to prevent his suicide. And that's what triggered it. Like just them together, all of their scenes made me like extremely emotional. They were like the hardest for me to watch, but even just hearing grown up Mikkel talk like was weird because all we saw from him up to this moment was him just hanging himself and looking sad before he did it.
He didn't have like a personality.
Yeah, exactly. There was no voice or personality like attached to his name, and when we do see it, it's when he gets triggered to do what he did in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that was very sad.
That's your favorite scene?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's dark, but it's
I
like my
know.
favorite. It's like the moment that stood out the most.
Out of everything.
Yeah. Other scenes, obviously, almost every single montage. Like the montages were really good. The music, all of the moments that were captured in almost every single montage were like really amazing. Especially the last episode when everyone's like disintegrating. It was so sad to see, but you see that there's a few characters that are getting closure during that moment. You could tell possibly that middle-aged Jonas kind of like it hit him right at the end when he looks up. He's like seeing his hands disintegrate, and then he looks up, and like you could kind of tell that possibly he knows what's going on.
I hope so, because that one was the hardest one for me in all of the montage disappearing. I was really worried that like he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the first when we first watched it, but like rewatching it, I feel like that when he looks up is when he knows
something worked.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's great.
That's and nice. Not only that, but Claudia with the tear going down her cheek was like a really emotional and like wholesome moment in a way. Because even though she's dying, Regina's coming alive because of what's happening.
She knows
or she's staying
succeeded.
Alive.
Yeah. Do you have any other moment?
I think another one would be Mikkel talking to Ulrich, to older Ulrich, in front of their house and like realizing that that was his dad. That was another super happy / sad moment because he's been away from his dad, and his dad's lived what 33 years without seeing Mikkel, and finally gets to see him.
Yeah.
And then Egon ruins it.
To be fair, you can't blame him.
I know.
Ulrich was like, "That's my kid. That's my kid. I have to save them."
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, let's see. So I put so it's a combination of the What a Wonderful World montage. Mixed with when Jonas and Martha actually talk to Merrick. Merrick. I don't know. Just seeing that he doesn't really understand what's going on or who these people are, but they do quote something that his dad probably says a lot. And even though the scene is not very deep, you feel how important and how deep it is, even to Merrick, who doesn't even know these people.
Yeah.
My number 2 would be in season 1, episode 3, the montage at the end where you can see the younger them with the older.
Oh yeah, that was a really good one.
Really good.
When they go back and forth between the 80s and 2019, I think it was still at that point.
Then and now, yes. And let's see what else do I have. I have. Oh, did you mention this one? The middle-aged Jonas in the cave when he thinks he's destroying the wormhole and he sees.
Right. He sees Michael.
Cover.
Yeah, that's season.
That's the finale of season 10. Season 1.
Season 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another great moment. It was just really sad also though, because middle-aged Jonas is thinking he's destroying it. I'm assuming he thinks he's gonna die, and at that moment in the tunnel, he sees Mikkel just sitting there next to him with like the black stuff on him, right? Mm-hmm. That was also really sad to see. Also one of my favorites.
And I also have, well, now looking at my list, it's kind of a mix of when old Claudia in season 2 apologizes to younger Aegon, mm-hmm. and he says like that he's too good for this world and apologizes. That scene mixed to when Claudia tells older Claudia, "Can you please tell Aegon that I'm sorry?" Because there's like 2 Claudias there, but you know that to the younger one, this is very fresh. It just happened. Yeah. But you can see her older self understanding where she's coming from, and she probably still carried all of that pain even until then, and then she leads on to her journey to do that. Those are up there. The list goes on and on. Charlotte seeing Ellie in the moment where it opens
where they
up,
open the portal,
and Ellie signs mom, but you can see like, oh my god, everything that Ellie's been through in this apocalyptic world, and Charlotte seeing her daughter like that. I don't know, I don't know how that would feel.
That was what, season 2 finale, no? What was it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Any favorite characters? Like, if you had to put them all in your...
Well...
Everyone. I didn't put mine. Oh, no.
Jonas, for sure. I think he was my number 1 favorite character. Maybe not as Adam, but younger Jonas and middle-aged Jonas. Up to the point where middle-aged Jonas starts becoming Adam. Like, everything before that, like, he's still... You can see the pain in the actor's face. Mm-hmm. So from young Jonas to middle-aged Jonas, you could tell like both of the actors were like really good at capturing that pain that they're going through and all the confusion. They're both still really naive and like could be influenced really easily, which was also like made it more painful to watch them go through this. Yeah. I think that definitely my 2 favorite characters. Well, technically 1, right? But actors. As far as actors go, yeah, they were really good. And then middle-aged Claudia. I didn't like her at first, honestly. Like, really? Yeah, I don't know. She was like, I didn't feel like she was one of the main characters, even though she kind of was. But I didn't think she was gonna play that big of a role on the show. And then when they start just showing her more throughout season 2, she started to grow on me, and then when she finally shows up in the, what was it, second to last episode, and then the last episode she tells Adam everything, I was like, Holy shit. It was like if you had a thermometer with like a meter on
Yeah.
like a 30 something degrees and it just went
That's
hit the
exactly
top
how
and
she
it's
was for me.
spoiled over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was definitely, she became one of my top characters at that point.
Mm-hmm.
In the last episode, right?
Yeah.
It's like they totally flip you and like change your mind about her. But the pain that the actress also you can see was really good. Middle-aged her.
Yeah.
Because the older one, she just had like the same look in her face no matter what she was experiencing.
Because she had like this determined look. Like she already knew what she was trying to do.
Exactly.
So you don't see too much emotion.
Yeah, exactly. So middle-aged Claudia for sure.
For me, for all the reasons you said, Claudia's my number one. She turned it around.
Yeah. She was like the MVP.
Yeah, you think Adam was running stuff, and then you find out that he actually didn't know much. And then you have Eva, who you're like, oh my gosh, you know so much more than Adam. And then you have Claudia coming here saying, nope, I played them both in both worlds, figured it all out, she did the steering to, you know, like Jonas and all of them, and convinced everyone and figured it all out just so Regina could live. Claudia. She is up there. And then Jonas is my number two. Just great. He really, both of the actors, really capture emotion.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things I think that I can take away from this show is the younger Jonas. We got their names down here. Lewis Hoffman. Yelling and crying.
Yeah, the moments when he yelled and like was crying at the same time, those were like my favorite moments for him.
Great. Just really makes you care for him and want to see him figure all this out. And then my number three would be Noah. I hated Noah so much when because everything he did to Helge.
Yeah.
For Helga. And somehow in there, he's Charlotte's dad, and he, gets really pushed into doing all of this because, he promised. I mean, really, he promised Ellie that he was going to figure all this out for Charlotte.
Yeah.
And he does a bunch of horrible things, and it's all for love, which I think is the best part of this show. On top of just how beautifully shot it is, how it's filmed, the music and everything, just the storyline. There's so much going on, but
in the end, it's all for love.
It's all for love. Noah was doing it for the love of his child and trying to find her.
Jonas was doing it for his dad.
Yeah, then dad, Martha Payne, right? Yeah. Then we have Eva, who was doing it for her child, the unknown. She actually convinced herself that people were meant to live and die all for the unknown to exist.
Yeah.
And then we have Tannhaus, who none of this would have happened
if it wasn't for the love for his son.
Yeah. That's my... I was not expecting that.
And Claudia for Regina.
And Claudia
forgetting the
for
main
figuring
one.
it all out for her love for her child that didn't even realize. Both of them. Claudia for trying to do everything possible to save Regina.
Yeah.
Regina didn't even realize that her mom loved her, but her mom loved her beyond how, what she can even imagine. And then Tannhaus, whose son thought his dad didn't care about him, and he destroyed his world, and it got fixed, so he didn't even realize that he destroyed his own world, all to try and get his son back.
Yeah, because he never did it, technically.
Right, he succeeded without even knowing, and technically didn't do it. But then sorry, we're ranting, I don't know how long it's been now, but here's the big question for me. Is in the end we get the last scene, which is, it's actually really satisfying to see that everyone at the table are people that died.
Yeah.
And all of these people seem to, didn't go through this pain. They've had what seems to be like pretty decent, happy lives. It was really hard for me to wrap my head around Jonas and Martha not existing.
Yeah.
And I do think that they do exist in a sense. I feel like there was a lot of hints, and maybe I'm just don't want to accept that they technically didn't exist, but I feel like there was like hints, like some of the things they would say, the apocalypse,
Hannah naming her kid Jonas.
Hannah liking the name Jonas, the yellow coat. I think was it Katerina? I think says something like Winden doesn't exist. Like this kind
A
of
world without
hate,
Winden.
yeah, like this kind of disgust or whateverness about Winden. There's like all little things from different people that were from this other world. So I do think they all live within in little bits in this actual like origin world. You know?
Yeah, it's possible.
I hope.
Or I hope they were born at some point after that.
Right? That was the question about the Jonas name. If
Yeah.
there's hope for Jonas, there would be hope for Martha. And not necessarily in the way that we know them from there, but in some form.
Yeah. Or even as like the Jonas kid from Hannah being them as one. Because they did say at some point that they were part of the same.
Yeah.
They were both a part of a whole.
Right? Yeah. Like I kind of got that feeling that they were
one person.
One. This unbreakable bond, this whole part of a whole, like you said. Yeah, exactly. And then the big question is, what happened to Waller's eye? We never got the answer.
Waller's eye.
That was the most frustrating thing.
Yeah, like they were finally gonna say something about it, even though it was just a meme. Like, and then they fucking lights go off.
We never got that answer.
Never got an answer.
Anything else?
We did get a few comments that stood out. Master Onion pointing out Tannhauser's glasses. They were like the infinity symbol, I think, right?
I still didn't pick up on that. I'll have to.
We'd have to rewatch that, but if that's true, then that's some detail.
Subtle, yeah.
Detail hunting right there by Master Onion. The rest of these comments, I think, were things we went through.
I need my glasses. Where are my glasses?
I'm not here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I can't read it.
Oh, pseudonymous being mentioned something about like let's see, that Noah wasn't eager to kill his father. There was a scene where Noah kills Bartosz. We thought he did it just like hella cold-blooded, but rewatching it, you said he actually like struggling with it before he does it, right?
Yeah, so what's the name?
Pseudonymous?
Yes, so they mentioned that was it the sound, right?
Yeah.
That there was a sound, so most likely older Noah essentially was watching, making sure that he went through it. But then later when they're in the church or something, when older Noah's talking to younger Noah, he's he's got like tears going on. So yeah, there was a lot more of a struggle than I originally picked up on.
Then we had Matt V, who was explaining about why Martha, middle-aged Jonas didn't remember Martha. We kind of answered that by going through Martha's timeline. That Martha just never, she didn't write the letter.
Right.
And she's the one that eventually goes to Adam and gets killed. What else did we have here? Matt V also asked to answer a bunch of these questions, which we didn't really get to research much. How did Tronte survive the apocalypse?
Well, I don't know. I just kind of assumed that
Claudia saved him,
pulled him out at some point. But I don't know.
Why is Agnes a Nielsen if she's Celia and Bartosz's Tatum daughter?
That's true.
That one was, why was she a Nielsen?
If that's the case, where did Nielsen come from? Right? If that's the case, like where did they come with this name?
Who sent Claus in the letter, which we still don't know.
Potentially Hannah.
Yeah. Regina's dad, which we did answer. It's Brent.
Yeah. Oh, this one right here, number 5.
What are the people in the Sigmundus picture?
I was looking back on it, right? And we have the ones that we know. But then there's like all these people in the back.
Or just some random
that
people.
I have no idea. I can't zoom in like close enough because it kind of blurs out. Like, who are they? Was it just not enough, like, funding to fully
go into depth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sharlotte's clock path, which we still didn't fully figure out because it's too confusing. What happened with Doris, Elizabeth, Charlotte, Agnes, and others we didn't see dying. So Doris, who knows? We never saw what happened to Doris. I think she probably just went away, huh?
Doris, you think? Right? I was under the impression that she was gonna live with Agnes, right? Yeah. But we never fully. They never.
Well, Agnes leaves.
Yeah.
Adam, but so when she hugs Celia for the last time. We never really got to see where Agnes went from there.
Elizabeth. Yeah, just what happened. Well, let's see. What do you think happened to them? Well, then Elizabeth, Charlotte, Agnes, all of them. I mean, eventually, right? They don't exist. But we do have Bernd, who apparently is the father of Regina, living together with Claudia.
Yeah.
The big question was, I really loved Boris and Regina's love for each other. I wonder. Technically, he would have a chance to exist in the origin world, right?
Because he wasn't part of the knots. So maybe they find each other.
Do you think he killed someone?
And still, I don't know. Maybe not.
There's hope for me that they found each other in some other form.
And still listen to cheesy 80s love songs together.
Yes.
Right? Carolus Markinos was explaining the knot things to fill the gaps. So basically, like, people to keep the family tree intact. We did get an answer to that.
Wait, so it's not to actually fill gaps; it's to cause people to
preserve the tree.
To cause people to like go looking for people, like Eric went missing so that the kids could go to the couch.
To the couch, yeah, exactly. Things like that.
Makes sense.
And last thing we have is theories and guesses that we had throughout the show.
Okay.
We kind of skimmed through our old videos, so we have a few here.
All right.
That are kind of funny.
Okay.
The first one is, we thought that middle-aged Jonas was Mikkel at some point.
We did?
Well, I think that was me. That thought that middle-aged Jonas was Mikkel when they first introduced him. Just because they had like similar hair, I guess. I think that's what I mentioned. We for sure thought Adam was Bartosz. It was so bad.
I would have had money on it that it was him.
We definitely would have bet on that one, and we were wrong. Nia thought that Bernd wanted to go back in time to prevent Chernobyl.
Oh yeah.
That one made me laugh because you were like, yeah, maybe he's trying to prevent Chernobyl from happening, because he did mention it. I don't know what else he said besides that, but I thought that was pretty funny.
I think I remember that. Uh-huh.
We also thought Peter came from another time, because there's a picture of Peter.
But maybe it was just a crappy picture.
Yeah, it was probably just a crappy picture. But there's a picture on Adam's wall of Peter that looked kind of black and whitish or old school-ish. So we thought maybe Peter came from a different time. We also thought Mikkel was pretty much the only issue in this whole thing. And that turned out to like not be.
When they kept saying it was only like, it's just so much bigger than this. I was like, how? How can it be bigger than this?
Just don't let him go back in time and fix everything.
Yeah.
But no, it was a lot bigger than that. The funniest one was you pointing out the thing about the lipstick. You're like, there's got to be something about this lipstick.
There's going to be something about a lipstick.
Because Ellie took the lipstick from Francisca.
And then Martha was putting on lipstick, taking it off. Hannah did that as well.
Yep.
They were talking about lipstick, but it was more like a, what is it? Like a pop culture or like fun fact of the time.
Yeah,
for
the 80s.
For the 80s.
That people liked red lipstick.
It
But
was about a song.
yeah, you for sure.
I was sure there was something going on with lipstick.
Yeah. We thought Noah and Agnes were a thing. And obviously wasn't because they were brother and sister. Alexander. We thought there would be a deeper story to Alexander besides him just killing someone
and showing up,
taking someone else's identity.
Mm-hmm.
We really thought he came from a different time, or he was part of the family tree somehow.
Yeah, pretty much up until Claus and confronted him.
Yeah.
I was so sure there was going to be more to it.
Yeah, same here. And then the last one, we thought Noah came from the future. Like, he was born in the future. But no, he was born in the past.
It's so confusing. People aging in different
He was
times.
born more than 100 years and earlier than we thought he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the few that we have.
Okay, here's my last thing. I don't know how.
This is a 37-minute video so far.
Okay, so I'll just squeeze this in real quick. Who do you think? I mean, now that we know, like, there was an origin world throughout this whole show, though, before we hit the undo button on everything, who were your characters that you feel really like suffered the most or didn't deserve like the hate that they got from you or from me? Or
the hate, shit. Noah for sure. He was suffering a lot, losing his daughter. I think Ulrich too. Because as soon as his kid went missing, everything just went to shit, and then he died with that.
He had a horror. Yeah, him. I would say Ulrich is up there with
Katarina.
Suffered a lot.
Yeah.
He did a lot of horrible shit, but he also didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, Katarina wasn't. She was even better of a person as an adult than Ulrich was, and she definitely suffered too and died.
Horrible death.
Yeah.
She was in the water. Helge or Helga.
Yeah. His life sucked from the beginning.
Yes, like, yeah, sure, he lived in this fancy house or whatever.
His mom was a piece of shit to him.
She was cold. The dad seemed okay.
Yeah, he seemed okay.
But he was just probably too, like, busy with work. But, like, what's her name? What was her name?
Greta?
Yeah.
Or something?
I don't know. She didn't even look like she wanted to talk to him.
Wait, was it Greta?
I think it was. You know, he gets attacked by Ulrich, manipulated, brainwashed by Noah to follow this, killing kids. I mean, you know, and then older self tries to kill him in the car crash. Older self dies. Like, just horrible.
Yeah, he had a super shitty life.
Yeah. But he would exist, right? In this origin world.
Possibly, yeah.
Right?
Because he wasn't part of the family tree.
But
yeah. I think that's all.
I think we're good.
Right?
I hope we...
This turned into a 40-minute video.
I didn't think we were going to even have like 10 minutes of stuff to talk about. But...
hopefully we didn't bore you to death. And if you all have anything to add, anything you'd like to say about the show, even after...
Or clarify anything that we've mentioned throughout more towards the beginning of the video.
Yeah, just let us know. Let us know what you think. Your favorite characters, your favorite actors. If you have any other
characters, favorite actors, favorite scenes.
Also, if you have any other movies or shows that you think these actors did a great job in, let us know so we can check it out. Because I definitely want to see more of young Jonas.
Yeah.
Because he was great. Just drop whatever you want in the comments. Let us know. Thank you all for sticking with us for this super long video and for sticking around for Dark.
Amazing show.
Yeah. Can't stop recommending it.
Yeah.
Forever.
I really appreciate everyone taking the time to watch with us and explain so many things with us and to come and watch this. video.
Extra video that we lagged on for 2 weeks.
Yes, again, apologies for that.
But yeah, just make sure you like our video, subscribe to our channel, turn on the notifications, and we'll see you all for our other reaction videos.
Coming
Soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, done.
You didn't do your thank you, bye.
Wait, you said it already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, bye.